There once was a very thin tiger who lived on the edge of the jungle. He was sad and thin because he was getting old and food was very difficult to catch. The monkeys threw nuts at him and called him names. At night, the tiger would gaze at the Raj's palace, and sometimes he would look through the window. The Raj and his family ate their food in the warmth and comfort. He wished he could join them in their friendly company. It looked fun. One day, he was watching a servant beating the rugs in the palace garden. One of the old rugs was a tiger skin rug. The tiger had an idea. While the servant's back was turned, he jumped over the wall, took down the old tiger skin rug and hid it in a bush. He then draped himself over the line. The servant continued with his beatings and bet the poor tiger even harder than the rest of the rugs because he looked so dusty and moth-eaten. Finally, when there was not a speck of dust left, the servant carried all the rugs back into the palace and spread them out in the correct places. The tiger was put in the dining hall. Soon the Raj and his family came in to have their evening meal. They laughed and ate and talked, and the tiger was glad to be in their company. They did not notice him, for he looked thin and moth-eaten, just like the old tiger skin that they used to have. After the meal, when they had all left the room, the tiger jumped up and finished all the scraps. Then he drank some tea and lay down for a good night's sleep. This was a wonderful life, and he was determined not to spoil it. Every day he enjoyed the family's company. Every evening he finished the scraps and drank some tea, but he was careful and that he was always still when people came into a room. At first nobody suspected that he was not a real tiger skin rug because he was so thin and looked so moth-eaten. The Raj would play and frighten the children with him. The children would pretend that he was a real tiger. But the tiger was worried because he knew he was not as thin as he used to be or as moth-eaten. One day the Raj said, "How strange, the old tiger skin rug has improved with age, but it really is beginning to smell. If it cannot be cleaned, it will have to go." The following day the tiger was taken out into the garden and scrubbed with an old broom. The soap made his eyes sting. Ugh. Then he was left on the line in the hot sun to drip dry. When the servant carried back into the dining room, he was complaining that either the tiger skin rug was getting heavier or he was getting older and weaker. That night the tiger did not eat any scraps and he couldn't sleep. He knew that he would soon be found out and perhaps made into a real tiger skin rug. Whatever could he do? Suddenly he heard a noise. All the hairs on his spine stood on end and the end of his tail twitched. These three robbers, were climbing in through the window. They were carrying a sack and they began to fill it with all the silver dishes, ornaments and anything of value. While Tiger was wondering what to do, the door burst open and the Raj rushed in. The robbers knocked him down and drew their wicked knives. Then the tiger stood up and roared. The roar echoed down every corridor and every room and across the palace, gardens and where everyone was and woke them all up. The tiger leapt to the Raj's rescue. The three robbers took flight. They were in such a hurry that they became stuck in the window as they fought to get through all at once. When the Raj had recovered from his shock, his family and his servants had gathered. He proclaimed, "The tiger skin rug has saved us. He must stay with us forever." And so he did. He was never beaten or scrubbed again, but instead he bathed in the garden pool. He went on picnics with the family and rode on elephants. The children played with him and the Raj's wives loved him. He no longer ate scraps. He had his own plate of food and his own bowl of the best Indian tea. In the evenings he lay on the floor with the family around him, for he was still their tiger skin rug, a real tiger skin rug, the best in the world.